Me.
Hey, good morning, Marie. So, guys, in the last classes, we have done with the concept of DTP protocol. Hope I'm clear to all of you. And like we have also done that, actually, right? So we can configure that like 1 minute. So we have basically, let me give this way. So we have a two way to perform the tagging, and we have a two way to do the trunking over there. So the first way we have in the tagging protocol, we have ISL, and another way we have 80.12. Same thing. The first way you can configure the trunk in the static, and second way we have a dynamic. For the dynamic, we have a protocol called as a right DTP 80.12. This guy has a trunk. You can form the trunk in two ways, right? And we have a static trunk over there, and we have a dynamic trunk, right? So dynamic, we of course we have some protocol. The protocol will be DTP, and DTP has a modes. The modes will be we have auto, and we have a desirable. Depend on the platforms. Like right now, whatever the new issues sorry, iOS is coming, they have auto, but it's not like that. Desirable is not there. Desirable is also there, right? DTP packet will be exchanged at every 30 seconds, and hold on time is 300 seconds. Okay, so if the both side is auto and auto, the result will be what is static. And if the one side is auto and one side desirable, the result will be trunk. And the another side desirable, another side is also desirable, result will be trunk. This result is called as what? Operational state, right? And this is called what? Administrative state. This is called what? Administrative state that you have defined, right? Now, guys, as we know that whenever you're creating the VLAN, right? When I put this information, take example on a config terminal we have, right? In a config terminal mode, what happened? You are saying that config terminal, and then after you're saying the VLAN, and after that you have to define the VLAN number 10. Okay, so then after that you move in the which mode? VLAN mode. This is how the things will happen, right? So VLAN mode. Do you know what happened in the actually background? This information will be stored into the one database table, right? And this database table is called as a VLAN.dat file. And this information, the VLAN number 10 will be present, or the VLAN number 10 will be updated in this database table. This is a one kind of memory, right? A storage device like that, you can say that. Okay, in an easy way to understand this part, right? Okay, you have some movies, you're going to store that movies in your laptop. That laptop is like a storage device, same like that. Store the VLAN, right? Store the VLAN information. We have a something called VLAN.dat. Oh, great. And every time, whenever you are going to create the VLAN, update it every time. And I'm not taking this is the wrong thing, right? I'm just giving the awareness like how the things will happen, right? And you can check the command is so VLAN.dat file. You can check this one, and if you want to delete the VLAN, so you have to delete the file from here. You can also delete, for example, no VLAN 10. For example, you want to delete the complete VLAN information, just delete this file. Now, understand one thing. Once you define the command VLAN number 10, immediately what happened? The by default, now we have a VLAN state. By default, what happened? This VLAN number 10 will move in the active state. Active means what? This VLAN is present, and whatever the traffic, listen to me carefully, This VLAN number 10 I have created over there. This information will be stored in the VLAN number .dat file. And by default, what happened? It will move in the active state. The active state means what? Whatever the ports is associated with this VLAN number 10 or any traffic that is coming for the VLAN number 10, they will operate that traffic. That's the meaning of active. Active means what? This information is present and you can send and receive the data or control plane traffic regarding the VLAN number 10. But at the same time, you do have a capability to suspend this VLAN in number 10 traffic. For example, if some attack is happening, or just take any one of the reason, right? You want to do like this, okay, or whatever the user, whatever the salesperson, take example, the salesperson we have in the company network, right? And you have give the like you give the like some holiday to the salesperson, they move to the some holiday vacations, and you want like no any traffic is coming into the VLAN number 10, because this VLAN number 10 traffic, this VLAN number 10 is belong to the sales department, right? And you want, right, no other any control plane traffic, no the data plane traffic come to the VLAN number 10, because this guy, whatever the user are sitting over there, they are not present. You can do one thing. Instead of removing the VLAN number 10, I can suspend this guy. If you want, you can do it. But by default, the state will be what? Active. If you have a look, enable and config terminal, I see the VLAN number 10. By default, what happened? It will move in the active state. You see that? State is what? Active. But you do have a capability, right? You can define the name of this person if you want. For example, I want to define the name CCI. This is the name, you can change it over there. And for example, if you know do like you want to change the state, you can say that state will be what? Suspended. Now do so VLAN brief. Do so VLAN brief. No traffic will entertain on this particular VLAN number. Take example, what I can do, I'll start this gas glass console and this all the router, and come on, console. And I'll do one thing on this guy. I'll say that interface. Okay, let me do one thing. So the VLAN number 10 state will be what? Active right now. And do so VLAN brief. Okay, so now interface gig 0/2. I'm going to make the switch port trunk encapsulation dot one two. Come on, and switch port mode trunk, right? All good. And interface gig 0/0. I'll see that okay, you are the guy that's part of the VLAN number 10, right? Switch port access VLAN number 10. We don't need to define the switch port mode access. That's a recommendation command, but this is not a mandatory command to assign the port to the particular VLAN, right? It's not a mandate. Okay, then we have an interface gig 0/1. Okay, gig 0/1 is a little bit by default, it's part of the VLAN one, no issue. And if you go to the now the switch, I have a must have IP address interface. Okay. Switch to now. Switch to which interface? I'm going to make this guy. This is the VLAN number 10. And I'm going to make this guy the VLAN number 10. So gig 0/1, right? This guy. So switch to. If you see, I do have a trunk because DTP is enabled. I have configured the trunk on this side, so he will negotiate with this person and miss negotiation. And now I'll say the interface gig 0/0, and I say the switch port access VLAN number 10, and all good. So VLAN number 10 was not exist. The Let me create the VLAN and assign the particular port to the VLAN. So VLAN brief now. Now let's go back to the router number 1, and if you can go over to the router number 3 as well and send the traffic to this person. Okay. I'm sending the traffic from here to here. This guy to this guy. VLAN number 10 to the VLAN number 10. And we have it right now. This guy is a trunk port, so it should be sent. Just wait for some time. Come on. We have a trunk, right? Show into this trunk. Show into this trunk. Show VLAN brief. It's great, right? CCI is like wasn't right. So I think it's brief. Okay. Good. Come back to the system now. See the show VLAN brief is gives us VLAN number 10. All good. So into this one. It's cool, right? Has to be sent the traffic. Yep, it's working fine. Let's ping it 300 times. All traffic is being on. Gonna switch one. VLAN number 10. State will be suspend. Just to go back up. Yep, can you see that the bracket is dropping now? So now this guy, why the first time I was not dropping, because I was in the mode of the VLAN. So you need to exit from the VLAN mode, then this command will be executed. So now all the traffic is dropping because now this VLAN is actually is present. If you have a look, right? To show VLAN, guys, just write down the commands. It's not there in the book, right? So just for the troubleshooting purpose, I'm just letting you know, and just to be unique, right? That's fine. So the VLAN number 10, we have a suspended state, and you can see as well as show. You can assume like what is the meaning of suspend, right? Okay, take example. Just do just try to correlate with the real life. Government has suspended some some government official, right? Take example, Prime Minister Modi has suspended some guy, right? So what happens? Some office, the IS officer. So that IS officer is, I'm not the guy. The Prime Minister Modi is not removing the role of the IS officer, right? They suspended for the some few times for the 10 days, 20 days. Same VLAN is doing over there.
Like but a pause, right?
Sorry.
Like pause.
Like pause. That's a very good one. The word is very good. The like pause. I just pause it, so you can see that the VLAN 10 is suspended over there. So
temporarily deactivating.
Sorry.
Like temporarily deactivating.
Yeah, you can say the pause temporarily deactivating, right? Okay. And now all my traffic is dropping, right? But when I'm going to active this guy, let's do it active now. VLAN number 10, state will be, come on, get up. And now here we have to go. Take some time, okay. It's taking some time on GNS. My GNS is slow. It's not a issue with the configuration part. It's a little bit my GNS is slow. Come on. Underneath. It's active now. And it has to be. It will send the traffic. That's not a big deal. At the same time, what happened? We have a VLAN. This is a little bit logical, and just I understand this. This just pay attention of it. VLAN interface state. VLAN state and VLAN interface state. Now we have a active or inactive? VLAN state means what? This guy is going to represent the complete interface, right? Whatever the interface are presenting to the particular VLAN. VLAN interface is totally different from the VLAN state. In the VLAN state, what happened? This information is present in your VLAN.dat file, right? This information is present in your VLAN.dat file, right? If you have a look right now, I have this information in my database table, right? And if you see do show interface gig 0/0 search port, the state is what? Active. I have access mode of the VLAN number 10. This is the state is active over there. But what happened? Take example. If I'm going to remove the VLAN number 10, no VLAN number 10, right? What happened? Do I have a VLAN number 10 over there in my database table? Do so VLAN brief. No, I don't have. Who is the gig 0/0? Not there, right? Previously, the gig 0/0 is the part of which VLAN? VLAN number 10, and it was the active state, right? Now, do I have a VLAN number 10 over there? No. Do I have a gig 0/0? No. So what happened? But still, if you see the information gig 0/0, same one. What this guy is telling you? Inactive. Why this guy is telling you inactive? Hey, this interface is the part of VLAN number 10. But VLAN number 10, guys, just pay attention, is not present in VLAN.dat file. Understood now? So whenever you're troubleshooting, if you're not able to look at that particular port information, right? For example, in the VLAN number 10, you are being the gig 0/0 to the 3, right? 4 ports. Sorry. So if you're not able to see the gig 0/0 to the 3 ports, right, in your database table, see that do we have a VLAN number 10 over there? No. Then after that, put this command. Click the particular interface information. See, inactive is what? Someone by mistakenly, right? Someone has deleted your VLAN number 10. And in that case, again, what happened? Can I communicate with this person? No, I have a, you can see that the interface is a part of the VLAN number 10, but in an inactive state. Reason? Because this interface is the part of the VLAN number 10, but VLAN number 10 is not present in your database table. But if I'm going to create the VLAN number 10, automatically what happened? Interface will be appeared, or this state will be converted into the inactive to the active. So automatically interface comes up, and now the interface is the part of the, again, active state. Thing that you have see over there, what happened? Your name has removed. Reason, do you know? Because I delete that VLAN, right? And that VLAN number has a name over there. And you have created the new VLAN again. So whatever the information they have on that particular VLAN, all the information will be lost. All good? Any questions, guys?
Sir, when it is inactive under VLAN 10, it will be, the interface will be under VLAN 1, no?
How this interface, because how it will be interface in the VLAN number, because you have manually defined the VLAN number 10, right? Or interface in the VLAN number manually. Manually, I have defined it. How it automatically comes to the VLAN number 1? It will never come. Because manual means what you define it. You are the owner or you are the god. How it's come to the VLAN number 1? It's never come.
No, now VLAN is deleted on switch, so
Ah.
it is in interface in. I mean, the
Interface is still
VLAN
part
is
of the VLAN
inactive.
number 10. Yeah, interface is still part of the VLAN number 10.
Okay, okay.
Interface is still, because I manually define switch port access VLAN number. This command I manually define over there, right? You have to remove that command if you know make that one the VLAN number 1. Any other questions, anyone? Guys, any questions?
So, when VLAN interface state is in inactive, we cannot able to ping, right?
Of course. How can you ping it? VLAN 10 is not within the database table. All cool. Now, so guys, the basic overview I'm done, and whatever the things that we have discussed in the last 3 and 4 days, that all over the CCNA stuff, nothing but the CCNP. Let's come back to the point. Take example. You have a search 1, search 2, search 3, right? We have this interface. This interface 0/1 and this interface 0/1. Try to understand. This is the owner. This is the manager of this company, right? And this manager has informed to this guy, right? ABC, right? Hey, ABC, listen to me. This is the network engineer, right? You have to set up the 100 VLANs, right? On a switch 1, switch 2, switch 3. You have listened to me. Manager is a manager informed to the network engineer ABC, and he's informed that, hey, listen to me. You have to, like, you have to create the 100 VLANs on a switch 1, switch 2, switch 3, and you need to provide the connectivity over there. How this network engineer will do? This guy. So simply you can create it, not a big deal, right? But take example, if you have a discontinuous VLAN, then if you have a discontinuous range of VLAN, I think so, my spelling mistake. Discontinuous range of the VLAN, right? Then discontinuous means what? You have VLAN number 1, then 5, then 20, then 10, then 20, then 25, 30, 39, 49, 50, something called like that. Then how will you create the VLAN? You have to define the VLAN one by one by one by one by one by one. And in that case, what happened? 100% you're going to do the 100% you're going to do the error. Still, this is the human being, right? This is the human being, and this guy always doing a mistake, right? Because the manual thing, right? The manual means what? Error. That's why right now in this day's market, what happens? Automation come in the picture. This is the reason, right? Because we don't need to do the manual configuration. How much time this guy will require? to create the VLAN number, this range of the VLAN. Of course, take example, if the switch one, if the one switch, it will take the, take example, 1 hour. So 3 switches will go 3 hours. And if you have 100 switch, then 100 hours. 3 दिन तो इसने लगा दिया, 3 days, right? इसने लगा दिया VLAN को create करने में. Then what about the port, accessing the port of the interfaces? Another reason, do I have a centralized management? Of course not. I don't have. Centralized management is what? A client and server model. In a client and server model, we have one server and we have multiple clients. So from one server, there all the clients is being managed, right? Right. Normally, client and server model is work like how server is managed every client's. Same thing. So that is called what? Centralized management. From one location, I can manage all the clients. Right now, me, I am a server, and you guys are clients. So whatever the information I'm sending to you, all you're listening, right? That's a client. So this is called a centralized management, right? Do I have a centralized management in the VLAN network? No, I don't have. What is the issue is happening in the manual configuration? Take example, there's a PC over there, and this PC has to be a part of the VLAN number 10. And forget the network engineer has forget to configure the VLAN number 10. This guy has a VLAN number 1 to 100, but the VLAN 10 is missing. And this PC is also belong to the what? VLAN number 10. But in this guy's what happened? VLAN number 1 to 100 is there, but VLAN number 20 is missing. And VLAN number 30 is missing on this guy. Now tell me one thing. Can this PC communicate with this person? Yep. Can this PC communicate with this person? Yes, they can. Can this PC communicate with this person? No, they can't. Because you don't have a VLAN number 10 over there, right? If the VLAN number 10 is missing, whatever the ports of that particular VLAN, it will become what? Inactive. So can I send any traffic over there? Fire. Same way, whatever the user are setting on the VLAN number 20 over there, can they communicate with this person? No. Same way, whatever the VLAN number 30 is there, can they communicate to each other? No. Because if you have a missing information, right, that whatever interface is, right, a part of that particular VLAN, what all the interfaces are part of that particular VLAN, they all move in the inactive state. So we cannot communicate, right? So this is what? This is all because of this person. And I don't have even the centralized management as well as. I even don't have a centralized management as well as. I don't have. So to avoid all this problem, what we have introduced the one person, and that person name is what? That person name is VTP. VTP stands for VLAN trunking protocol. Guys, understand the myth. What people are thinking over the VLAN, that's a VTP. People are thinking this is a trunking protocol because here's the name is trunk. because the name is people say, okay, this is the trunking protocol, and people are doing the mistake in the interview, right? Hey, this is the trunking protocol because the name is the trunking protocol. Don't judge book by its cover, man. This is not a trunking protocol. The name trunking is what? This VTP packet, whatever the VTP packet we have. Trunk port. This is the reason it means it's a trunking protocol. It means that to send the VTP packet, you need to run encapsulation protocol, that is called as a tagging protocol. Because all the VTP packets, right, need to encapsulate with trunking protocol. And this is the reason, right? This is the reason why I'm going to call this guy as a trunking protocol. Because to run the VTP, right, to run the VTP on the devices and to exchange the VTP packets, whatever the VTP packets we have over there, to exchange this VTP packets, right? First of all, we need to make this interface as what? I need to make this interface as a trunk. If you don't have a trunk, the VTP packet will be never exchanged. This is the reason why I'm going to call this guy as a VLAN trunking protocol. The name is trunking is what? I need to first configure the interface as a trunk so that all my VTP packet, right, will encapsulate with the encapsulation protocol that we have a tagging protocol of. Because your header will something like this. We have an Ethernet header, right? Ethernet frame. Then after that, we have what? ISL or 80.1q. Take example, I'm using the 80.1q. And after that, we have a VTP packets, whatever the VTP packets we have, like this. Because all this packet has to be encapsulated with what? 80.1q. Or ISL as well as if you want, because I'm not using the ISL. So that's why we are not going to discuss about the ISL. So all this packet has to be encapsulated with the 80.1q protocol. So if your trunk is not there, the VTP has no role. And you know, by default, VTP is enabled. By default, VTP is enabled. If you see over there, one thing, so VTP status. You can see the VTP is present. I will discuss all this part, don't worry about that. But VTP information is present, right? But are you able to see the VTP masses? Can you see that? I'll just capture this link. Okay. Are you able to see the any VTP packets over there? No. VTP is enabled, but you are not able to see any VTP packets over there. Reason, and still if you see this interface is trunk, right? So it can send. But the thing is that to work the VTP, right, on the switch side, to make the VTP work, on the switch side, what we have to do, you need to first of all define the domain. Domain is what? You need to define the area. You need to define the scope, we can say that. Once you define the domain, after that, it starts sending the VTP packet. But before sending the VTP packet, it will check, do I have a trunk over there or not? If you don't have a trunk, it will never send the VTP packets. Never, ever. By default, VTP domain name is null. We can say the empty. Nothing is present, nothing. You just need to define any name, you can take it, but make sure that the name will be any name you can use, but make sure that this name should be (32 character). This is the range that you have to follow, right? You cannot go more than 30. So if you do one thing, let's take example on a switch one, I'm going to tell this person, right, what VTP domain. Right now, I'm not extending any packet. Can you see that? Right? Nothing. You do one thing, just write on the VTP over there. No packets are there. What I'm going to do, I say the VTP domain 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. Put some value. How many value I took? 32 only. How many values I took? Just 32. So what is the configure over there? Null. So it will send the VTP packets right to this guy. And what happened? If this guy is null configured, null means what? Nothing is configured. What happened? This guy will negotiate it. See? If this guy is null configured, null means what? Nothing is configured. So this guy will negotiate this information. Did I configure over there switch 2? No, I configure on the switch 1, right? So what happened? He sent the VTP request packet. Hey, I'm running with this name. You want to run this name? If this guy is null, they will negotiate it. They will inherit it. But if this guy has a different name, take example, this guy has defined the ABC and this guy has already configured the XYZ, so they will drop this packet. They will not win because they have own domain and this guy has own domain. But right now, what happened? Both have the same domain. Can you see that? So they will create a one logical group. They will create a one logical group. So domain is what? Domain is an area, right? Domain is what? It's an area, or we can define the scope over there. Area is what? A group of device. So this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, all they present into the single domain. Again, we have a this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy. They all are present into the another domain. Same way we have a this guy, this guy, this guy, and this guy. So this guy is represent different domain. So this guy has a domain name is what? CCIE. This guy has domain name CCNP, and this guy has a domain name CCNA. So VTP packets will not go beyond this guy. Nothing. It will never share the own information of this guy. It will never share the own information of this guy. Never this guy. Data communication will happen, right? But the VTP packet information will be not exchanged between the domain. Why do we need a domain over there? Because in a like as compared to the layer 3 network, our layer 2 network is very big. If you have a requirement of 100 routers, absolutely you have a requirement of 300 switches over there. So your layer 2 is big as compared to the layer 3. But if your layer 2 network is big, so what happens? You need to divide the network, right? To make a easy configuration, make a scalable, make a flexibility. That's why we are using the define the domain name over there. And after the defining the domain name, what happened? Can you see that? They are exchanging the VTP packet. I'll explain this all this header over there. Don't worry about that. But they are exchanging the packets over there. Previously, it was not exchanging, right? And make sure that your BTP packet is only exchanged on the trunk port, not on the access port. Because access port is not a part of any encapsulation protocol. If you see, all my packet will be encapsulated with the 80.1 queue. Then after that, we have a VLAN trunking protocol. So encapsulation is mandate. Encapsulation is mandate, right? You need to define the encapsulation. Without encapsulation, you cannot exchange, right? The VTP packets. All good? Now, I told you that this is the centralized management, right? After doing the VTP, we have a now we have centralized management. How? VTP has some modes, right? The modes we have over there, right? It can be a server, client, and transparent. Each modes have a different meaning. This guy is a client, this guy is a server, and this guy is a transparent. One more mode is there, just write them. Okay, that is off mode. You're disabling the VTP. That's the meaning of mode. Completely disabled. Transparent is also in your some books, right? If you refer the books over there, and even the some docs as well as transparent means also that you are disabling the VTP, not completely, partially you are disabling only. But default mode is what? This is the default mode. If you have a look, switch one as well as. So what we can do over there, guys, I am going to make one guys, right, as a server and remaining as a client. So now ho gaya ye centralized management. One guy is server and remaining as a client, right? So one switch is going to behave like a server. So switch one, take example, switch one is a server and switch two is a client. Centralized management we have. But default is what? Server, right? So we need to change this one because in the server mode, what happened? The reason to change, I'll let you know. Server mode, what happened? You can create the VLAN, delete the VLAN, modify the VLAN, synchronize the VLAN. Modify in the sense of what? Modification means what? You can change the state, you can change the name. State means what? Active and suspended, right? You can change the state, you can change the name. Many more things you can do that. Sync means what? I can receive the VLAN and I can pass the information to I can relay it as well as synchronization and relay, both are going on. Relay is something like relay, right? Relay it, pass it. But in the client mode, what happened? I do have only the ability to just synchronize the VLAN and relay the VLAN. That's it. I cannot create, I cannot delete, and I don't have a modification. So client is client, server is a manager, right? That is going to manage the entire domain. You are the client, you just listen to me. What I'm doing, you just agree with them. I'm not discussing of the transparent right now, forget it. The reason is create the the client. If you see the problem, take example, I have a switch one is a if you see VLAN number 20, right? So this is your manager, he has created the VLAN number 20 on a switch 2. And what happened, they will pass this information to the switch 2 as well. As switch 1 has passed this information to by using the VTP packets. So in the VTP packet, what happened, switch 1 is going to share this information to the switch 2. Switch 2 will receive it, and what happened, previously how many existing VLAN we have, 6, now it will become 7, because I received 20 aspects. And this is, and here what happened, there's a client is sitting over there, one guy, is the freshest guy in the company, and what he can do over there, no VLAN number 20, delete it. By default, server is what I can modify, that anyone can modify, anyone can delete. So take example, if any attacker got a access, right? If any attacker got access of your switches, they can easily remove, and or that particular switch has a server mode. They can do anything with your network. They can completely down your layer 2 network. And if your layer 2 is down, layer 3 will not work, right? Because your layer 2, sorry, your layer 3 is totally relying on the layer 2 network. The routing is totally rely on the layer 2, right? So if somebody, someone has delete your VLAN number 20, you can't do anything, right? So that's why what happened, the recommendation to have, right, a one server, or like if you have a very big network, right, you can do the 2 server as well as just for the redundancy purpose. But both server will behave like a primary, right? It's not like you can make a one primary and one secondary in the VTP version 1 and 2. In the VTP version 3, you have an ability, but in the VTP version 1, we have 3 versions, VTP version 1 and 2, 3. By default, 1 is running. So in the VTP version 1 and 2, you cannot make the primary and secondary. All the VTP server is behave like a primary. It means that everyone can do every task. So better to do, I can do one thing on a switch 2. I say, hey, you are the guy that will behave like a client, VTP mode, client, and now do so VTP status. What happened? Client means what? I cannot create the VLAN. So do I have an ability to create the VLAN? No. Do I have an ability to delete the VLAN? No. So if you don't have an ability to create the VLAN, nor the delete the VLAN, can I modify the VLAN? Of course not. What is the next thing? Now, if you have a look over there on a switch 1, I said, hey, VLAN number 100, VLAN number 200, and VLAN number 300. All this information switch 1 will send to the system. And now you see, switch 2 has the ability to receive this VLAN, right? Because I will behave like a client means what? I can synchronize the VLAN. So VTP is what? VTP is a VLAN trunking protocol that can carry your, right, that can carry your VLAN information. The VTP is a protocol, it's a layer 2 protocol. VTP is a layer 2 protocol that helps you to, like, centralize the VTP VLAN management, and they can save the one VLAN information to the one switch to the another switches. So you don't need to go on every switches and create the VLAN 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20, 10, 20. No, nothing. You just need to create on one switches, and whatever the switches are posted in that particular VTP domain, all that can receive the information, and they will update their own database table. And as I told you that you have a centralized management because this guys are now client and this guy is a server. So now what you can do over there, go on the server side, because on a client side I cannot do anything. So on a server side, if you want to delete the VLAN, you can delete it. No VLAN number 100. So what happened? Switch one will inform to the switch to, hey, remove the VLAN number 100 as well as. Do I have VLAN number 100 over there? Previously it was there. Now it's not there. All good? Any questions?
But what about interfaces?
Interfaces will not send, because why the interfaces is not going to send the VTP packets? Because the reason is that interface, right, is a locally to the switch. This is the reason. I cannot send the port information.
Interface configurations we can do on client side also, right?
Yeah, of course, buddy.
Okay.
Transparent. Guys, do one thing. आज के इतना ही करते हैं. मैं message बताता हूँ. We'll discuss the message. We have almost 1 hour class on the message only, right? In 2 hours of the classes. VTP advertisement packet, right? And VTP summary advertisement, subset advertisement. And it's, I want to say one thing more, right? Subset advertisement. Advertisement. Just. And when we call what? Join or we can stop that your VLAN for VTP coding. These are the VTP packets.
मम्मी एक काम काट देते ना, कहाँ गए आप?
All good. So guys, tomorrow we'll discuss this part and the transparent as well as. Tomorrow we have to do the VTP pruning as well as. One thing that I want to share with you